Thank you, Harry. Morning, everybody. I want to first, I want to acknowledge a few people that are here before I begin. And starting with someone that I have the privilege, I have him on every month. He redefined how a public official should be accessible to the people, and he is here and really has started the momentum and has always been a fighting voice, and it is the Governor Don Kucheri, the first president. I also want to acknowledge General Treasurer Frank Caprio, who is with us this morning. Very important public officials now. Also, I'm going to be speaking at candidate school for Operation Clean Government next Saturday. I want to recognize Larry Valencia and Bruce Lang, that started Operation Clean Government, that are here. For those that are attending, there is a slight addendum to the program. Picking the right criminal defense attorney will now be held at 2 o'clock in the Sorrel conference room. And for those that are going on the tour of the ACI with Governor DePetro and Senator Salona, the buses will be leaving at 12:30 now. So those that are attending, make the changes. I also want to acknowledge members of RISC, especially Harry and Jane Staley. Can we have a round of applause for them? President Jim Beal, who is here today. Round of applause for Jim. Executive Director Harriet Lloyd, behind the scenes, making it happen. And other RISC executive committee members, those who work very hard, volunteer, ranks for the coalition. I'm very honored to be here with you this morning. It's great to be here in Newport this time of year. I usually come down for St. Patrick's Day Parade. I don't know, those of you who attended last year, starts off with a big bang. How do you know it's St. Patrick's Day in Rhode Island? Bruce Sutherland shoots 3 leprechauns to get the parade. But folks, it's not your imagination. Harry was right. The tide is changing. Look what has happened just the past few months. Chris Dodd, who actually should be in a jail cell, but Chris Dodd is out in Connecticut, and Scott Brown is in. Evan Bayh is out. Even Congressman Kennedy, it's too negative. Patrick Kennedy is out. And won't it be refreshing to have a Washington representative that does not have a timeshare at a rehab facility? Kennedy is out, Dodd is out, and the 2 new heroes, Gist and Gallo, are in. I want to thank the business people here on behalf of the community. You hear many elected leaders, sometimes General Assembly, people running for office, that talk about raising taxes. But on behalf of the people of Rhode Island and the business owners, I want to thank you for taking the risk. I want to thank you for creating jobs. Thank you for working 7 days a week. Thank you for putting your guts and courage and determination on the line. Thank you for your families and the sacrifice that you put out. Many people want to raise your taxes. I say thank you on behalf of the people of Rhode Island. There's a great scene in the film Wonderful Life where there's a run on the bank, right? And there's George Bailey and his wife, and everyone's panicking, and what does George do? He tries to calm everyone down. It settles the situation. We can get through this together. And that is what, in many ways, the past few years has been. Folks, I wish it was that easy. But in that movie, you do have a Mr. Potter who's like the special interest, that's always like the wolf at the door. And in many ways, I think the past few years, we've seen the governor trying to be that George Bailey, trying to work together against very tough opposition. But what the special interests and the unions and the elected officials need to know, that the age of accountability has arrived in Rhode Island. People talk about economic development. A casino in West Warwick is not economic development. Suing paint companies for a product from the 50s and bringing in trial lawyers is not economic development. Selfishness and greed has really hijacked and taken over and destroyed Rhode Island in many ways the past few years. And think how many people here have children that live out of state because they can't get a job here in Rhode Island? Raise your hand. How many people have grandchildren that because of that live out of state and they'd like to see them here? Jobs in Rhode Island means bringing families back together. It means weeknight dinners. Families should not just be vacations and holidays. It should be your ability to go see a grandchild at a little school performance on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, or attending a ball game. And bringing jobs into Rhode Island would mean bringing people in together. Now, I have a tremendous platform on WPRO, and we speak out in many ways, especially the couple weeks. We get tremendous resistance, and they contact the station from the unions and the special interest. And the unions complain how I go after them and teacher bash or union bash. You know, there's a great scene in the movie Wall Street where Michael Douglas, right, playing the character Gordon Gekko. And what does he say? I am not a destroyer of companies, I am a liberator of them. Well, in many ways I feel I am not a destroyer of unions, I am a liberator of union workers. We saw play out in Central Falls, the union playbook. They have it at the headquarters. Number 1, when in doubt, call for a candlelight vigil. Page 2, just keep saying no givebacks. Page 3, start to run misleading radio ads. Page 4, act confused over the negotiations that have now passed. Call a protest, have everyone wear the same colors, and then use the students as pawns. None of it worked. We saw a Reagan-like moment. Remember, it was Ronald Reagan that said to those air traffic controllers, if you strike, I'm not Jimmy Carter, you will be fired. And that's what we saw, and a message was sent around the state. But it is time for the cities and towns for accountability. Don't tell me you're broke when you give $500,000 in unused sick pays to firefighters to reward them for not getting sick and calling in sick. Cranston, cutting anything that moves. And yet we find in their new budget for the school committee, 90% personnel costs, and there are raises in the school committee while they eliminate special education programs to reward gifted students. Don't tell me you don't have enough money. It's there. Find it. Sometimes there's humor. Actually, most times there's humor in Rhode Island politics and government. Stephen Constantino is going to run for mayor of Providence. Head of the House Finance Committee. Put out a budget, 4 months later, $400 million in the hole. He will do for Providence what he's done for the state of Rhode Island. Lieutenant Governor Liz Roberts is running for re-election. We will have a contest afterwards if you can tell me exactly what she has done over the past 3 years. It is time for the people who pay the taxes to make the decisions in the state of Rhode Island. And why not you? Why not you get involved? Why not be a force with RISC? Because if you're not involved, they are in the game. Make no mistake about it. The unions are in the game. If there's an empty seat, a union representative will run for it. Of course you're busy. Everyone's busy. You have problems. You've never run for anything, a school committee, city council. Just keep in mind, you decide not to run or get involved, they are engaged. Just like George Bailey said, Potter's not selling, Potter's buying. And the unions, they're not on the sidelines. They're engaged. You can't run. You have to be engaged with what RISC is doing.